Georgia, the whole day through.
All right, and so it begins. This is the top of Springer Mountain. Obviously, it was raining, so this is all you're gonna get. I got in at actually, hold that thought. These probably aren't the best conditions to do some video right now, given the humidity and whatnot. But I'll see what I can do. Anyway. Last night, I got in around 6 o'clock, and I gotta tell you, it was brutal. Boy, this pack is kicking my butt. Plus, it's coming apart a little bit. I think it's because I was carrying too much weight. So what I did was, when I came over the mountain, I went to the shelter here. It's 0.2 miles down the way. I didn't bother to take any footage of it. It's Springer Mountain Shelter, and you've seen it before. So. And like I said, it was raining and whatnot. But anyway, I get to the shelter, I put my stuff away, and I call REI, right? And I'm like, yeah, you know, I got a problem with my pack. I'm not expecting any problems, but apparently their whole policy changed. Some people in the shelter said that the chick that wrote the book Into the Wild really took advantage of REI and put it in the book how people can take advantage of REI. I don't know. I didn't read the book. But at the end of the day, something made REI do a 180. I mean, they had me feeling like a criminal. I talked to the girl. I didn't like what she was saying, so I talked to the supervisor, and it was the same old song. So in the beginning, I was giving REI the props, and you know, it was heartfelt. They took care of me in 2012. But today, I'll have to tell you, number one, don't bother getting an account with REI because there's nothing in it. They really don't care. Number two, if you go to REI, I mean they're the best as far as supply and all that, but don't necessarily get the REI brand, all right? Because they're not going to stand by that brand, and you may be disappointed. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna let the records reflect on that. I got up a little early today. I didn't bother setting up a tent. I hate setting up a tent in the rain, so I pretty much slept in the mud. My pack is thrashed. I mean, it was nice when I came out here, but dude, that's just the way it is, you know, first day, all right? So, everything's cool. My morale is good. I'm going to head out about 8 miles today. What I'm trying to do is, like, eat some food out of my pack and still, you know, work the pack out, trying to see what's up. But I do want to say this. 10%, at least 10% of the money you allocate for the funds is going to go towards unforeseen things like emergency medical and gear replacement, okay? So if I told you $2 a mile, look at $4,000, look at spending anywhere from $400 to $500 in unforeseen things. Now, when I say emergency medical, what that means is, say you twist your ankle, it's going to take more than 24 hours for that to heal. And you may have to lay over in a town and even in a hotel for several days, and that's going to add up. This pack costs $289. If this doesn't work out, I'm going to have to go in and buy another pack. All right, so that's like $300 right off the bat. So I'm going to try to do what I can with it, but you know, it's unforeseen, but it's expected, so to speak. So just keep that in mind. You know, whatever money you come in with, add about $500, and earmark those funds for that purpose. Okay, out here. For the record, most people miss this. Here's the like I already showed you that, right? Well, if you follow around, there is a register here. And it keeps a little book here, and what you do is you register there. Now the purpose of that is sometimes when let's say you start at a time where the office is closed, the visitor center office, if you register here on the mountain, then that still counts as far as, you know, making your presence known on the trail. If there's an emergency, if something happens, the word is, the way it's supposed to go is, they'll check this register, they'll have a count as far as how many people are there, and then they'll start looking. And when we talk about emergency, you're pretty much in tornado country, depending on the season that you come. But if you just want to be immortalized, just keep in mind there's a register right there. And you might want to carry a pen because sometimes pens aren't always available. All right. This is pretty much what it looks like. This is early spring and you're just traipsing through the woods. It gets better. It gets better. But right now, this is the perspective. These are rhododendrons, if I'm pronouncing that right. And what you do is when you're hiking through them, they create the most beautiful effect. It's like you're going through a cave of trees that are bowing before you. It's pretty cool. When it really gets good, I'll show you. When you get to the Smokies in Tennessee, man, you just wait. I'm gonna show you some stuff that's gonna make you be like, oh man, I need to go out there. All right. The difference between wearing boots and tennis shoes is when you get to river crossings, you really don't have to be selective as far as where you plant your foot. I mean, you can just go right in the water. And I'm not gonna say the boots are waterproof or anything like that, but it's like, that's why you're wearing boots, right? You can just say F it and just walk right through it, okay? So that's why I like boots out here. Okay, let's talk about acclimation, all right? What I do is, I'll take a piece of the tree and I'll put it in my mouth and I'll suck on it like I would a toothpick, okay? The purpose of this is simple. I told you before, I don't use a water filter, okay? So, I don't use a water filter because I know the difference between good sources and bad sources. But at the end of the day, anything can happen. Look at all this rainwater. Look at all this runoff. So any good source can be compromised after a rainstorm. The purpose of me doing this is to acclimate myself to the environment inside. Everything that's on this stick is in this woods and it's in the water. And I'm allowing my body to build up antibodies against any microorganisms. Can't really say microorganisms because that's a living thing. But then again, soil is organic, therefore, all right, this isn't a science experiment. All I'm saying is you suck on the stick, it acclimates you, and you won't get any mild a mild stomach cramp or mild pains, because Giardia is the top of the scale as far as waterborne illness. However, you can still get minor pains and even gas, because the gas around the water is filled with a lot of methane gas, because there's all this with all the biodegrading, with all the all the leaves and stuff. Okay, as they break down, they give off methane. That methane, the water's running over these leaves, it picks up that methane gas, and so, it's like eating beans. You drink enough water, you're gonna be very gaseous. But I'm getting off the point and I'm starting to babble. At the end of the day, you suck on a stick, you build up the antibodies, it makes your body a lot more accepting to when you're drinking the water, and so forth. I didn't pick this up off the ground. This isn't a New York subway. Nobody peed on the stick. You can take it from any tree, okay? As above, so below. All right. Attached to this hose is a 4-gallon, a 4-gallon water system. It's like a Lister bag, like a bladder, okay? So, does that mean that when I'm hiking, I'm gonna carry 4 gallons of water on my back? No. What I have on my back is about 2 liters of water, okay? So what I do is, the water that I carry on my back, the sole purpose of that is to help me out when I don't come to a water source. Now this is a stream. I came to it on the trail. When I pass water sources that I deem safe to drink, I break out the plastic bag here. This is my on-the-go, on-the-fly way of collecting water. And I showed you this in my other video. This is the best thing out there. You see people with Coke cans and Nalgene bottles, and they're trying to get water from something like this. running on the rock. Well, good luck with that. But with this right here, with a simple plastic bag, all you have to do is just press. Just press it down. The water's going right in there. It's that simple. Here you have your water. You see how clean that is? And you can just turn it right around and drink from the water bag. It's that simple. When you're done, well, I'm not done, but I'll go ahead and show you. When you're done, you empty out your water, you ball up your bag, and you put it right back in your pocket. I mean, let me see, can you see that? Yeah, anyway, you just stuff it in your pocket. All right? There's no weight to this. This is what? 2 ounces. And like I said before, don't break your back carrying 3 gallons of water. Carry what you need just in case. And then as you pass good water sources, break out your bag, drink, ball it up, put it away. Okay? In an 8-mile stretch, I may drink a gallon of water, right? But at the same time, I still have a good 1.5 liters in my primary source right here. Okay? Out here. The trail is marked by white blazes. This is how you know you're on the Appalachian Trail. Okay? When you get to a shelter or a shelter intersection, you will see a sign like this. It's telling you shelter, and then you look for the blue blazes. That'll send you to the shelter. Follow the blue blazes to the shelter, and then there you go. So it's all a linking system. You really can't get lost. Let's take a look at this shelter. As you approach the shelter, you'll see signs directing you to the privy, directing you to camping, and directing you to a water source. As you can see, there are bear cables here. Okay? Bear cables are there. They suggest you hang your food, and then there's a designated area for that. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm not gonna go down there. You'll see a privy soon enough. This is a privy. That's where you go to number 2. No, is it? Yeah. Number 2, and you pee in the woods. So if I got that backwards, you know what I mean. You pee in the woods, and you're number 2 right there. And this is an example of what you'll see in a shelter. Look at that, right? Isn't that nice? Now granted, it's new. You haven't seen the old stuff, but that's not necessary. What's up? Isn't that nice? Okay, you have a fire pit over here, and you can camp around the shelters if you want to. Okay, this is this is like 3 miles from this is 3 miles from Springer Mountain. I'm going to go on to the next shelter 5 miles from here, and I'll let you see it later out here. For the record, hiking is nice, but understand there are 8 million ways to fall or injure yourself, and that's the end of your hike. When it's raining like this and there's all this mud and whatnot, everything is a slip hazard, okay? Now, as you can see here, they actually covered this bridge with grates. But dude, this is rare. You won't see this all the time. As we go forward, you see this log right here? This is just a blowdown that they modified that you can use to actually cross, okay? You see how they got the cuts here in the log? Now, depending on how I feel, and depending on what I'm crossing, I'll just go through the water. Okay, it's just there's enough rocks right here, and it's just not worth falling and busting your ass. Excuse my language. Keep in mind, you got 40 pound pack, anyway, you got a heavy pack on your back. If you fall, before you hit the ground, you're gonna twist something because of the weight. And if you don't beforehand, when you hit the ground, you're gonna throw a back out or something like that. So you gotta be cognizant every step you take, and you can't forget that this is serious business, all right? Anyway, check out the beauty, check out the beauty. Now you see this grade going up, huh? Up and away. All right, out here. Let's talk about a double blaze. What does that mean? Here's a single blaze, there's a double blaze. A double blaze means you're about to make a turn. It means wake up, pay attention, do not keep going straight, all right? So when you're going here, you're following the trail, la-da-da. Sometimes they'll make it obvious, they'll block some stuff off, and you just use your, I don't want to say common sense, I hate using that word, but follow your senses and just keep going. Just turn right around, and generally, all you got to do is line up with this tree, turn around, and don't make another step until you see another blaze. That's telling you, that's orienting yourself. I see that blaze right there, because I could very easily take off in here, take off over there, not knowing, but before I make a step, I'm looking for a blaze. and they're white and they will stand out. So I see that blaze, I'm good to go. I'm down the road. Anytime you see a diamond, something like that, that means that there's some kind of service road around. Now, I passed this service road, for example, or a side trail. You see how it's marked? See that? Let me zoom in. Okay, and as long as you stay on that, you see that diamond over there? It's gonna be marked with diamonds. Unfortunately, they use the same paint, but I think you can tell a difference between a diamond and a rectangle. But anyway, there you go. This is a favorite river crossing of mine. I love it. So tranquil. Okay, I don't carry a water filter, but I do have bleach for questionable circumstances. So the question is, well, when would you use bleach? You see this right here? I wouldn't call this a apropos water source. So if I were to do something, I would take the water out of here, and then I'll throw a couple of drops of bleach in it, shake it up, and we'll be good to go. All right? So this is, I don't want to say this is an example of a bad water source. I don't want to say that. But you want to avoid large bodies of water whenever you can, especially during, after rain and so forth. All right. Okay, my bad. I need to try to speak in layman's terms. So when I said apropos, that was just me shooting off the whatever. Apropos, if I'm not mistaken, is French for appropriate. So what I meant to say is that's probably not a good idea to use that kind of, that water source. Anyway, you see that? That's a double blaze. You see this? This is a service road. So double blazes also means when you're crossing a big road like this, all right, they'll double blaze it as well. And like I said before, you don't know if you're going this way, you don't know if you're going that way, so what do? You look for a white blaze. You see that? You see that right there? That's a white blaze. It's a white blaze and a diamond, but it's a white blaze. So that's giving you the direction you need. You know, you get your correction and you head off. All right. This sign wasn't here before. This is actually new. But this right here is awesome. Long Creek Falls. Most hikers walk right past it because it is marked on a branch on a tree, but it's like way when you get up there, and since you're climbing a mountain, you tend to look down. You're gonna miss it. But wait till I show that to you. All right, out here. Right? Have I talked about trail magic yet? Trail magic is when you're walking through the woods and then you see this. You see people on the side of the road setting up stuff and just feeding hikers, right? Look at that. See, that's awesome. And I'm about to break me off something out here. Okay, check out the spread. Fresh fruit, candy, ooh, strawberries. Did I see right? Did a hiker just walk right past here like, wow. See, he's going to regret that. I guarantee it. You got to stop and smell the roses or at least eat them, right? Yeah. So thank you. You might be able to tell from the remnants of chips or whatever and chocolate around my mouth that I got my issue. That was the bomb. So that was trail magic. And it always comes when you need it, right? So that's another thing that you get to look forward to. And what it does is it just reassures your, what's the word? You know, I've always thought that man is inherently good, but when you see stuff like that, all it does is just solidifies that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, excuse me. So that was the bomb out here. Take a look at this steep grade. you probably can't see too much like this. But I'm going to Hawk Mountain Shelter, so naturally it's on a mountain. To give this some kind of understanding, you're looking at rising 100 feet every 10 meters. So you're looking at maybe a 5 to 6% grade. Anyway, it's really nice. It made me press pause. And that's one thing you got to remember about trail magic. You don't want to gorge yourself. Like, say if they had like soda pop or something like that, I would straight avoid that, because that ain't nothing but gas. I mean, you're bloated, your pack doesn't fit anymore, and you got to climb mountains, so you got to be selective about what you get. And at the same time, you can't gorge yourself, okay? You got to stay focused. All right. I don't know if this camera can do this tree justice, but this is mammoth, okay? I can literally crawl into that hole. You can probably get 3 people inside that tree right there, and it's hollow, okay? It's actually alive, but it's huge. Huge. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so this is Hawk Mountain Shelter. As you can see, it's still a lot of gloom going on as far as the weather goes. But it's a nice little shelter. It's not so bad. Anyway, we clocked in at what? About 8 miles today. All in a day's work out here.
What do we call that up there?
The loft.
Oh yeah, the smoker shack.
Oh, the smoker shack.
Actually, it's the penthouse suite.
Smokehouse. It is the penthouse suite. The smoker shack.
I can see it.
Wait till the smoker shack.
Yeah.
I thought you didn't smoke.
Everybody's having fun. That's how we roll out here. I was done, but then I went to the privy, and when I came outside, it's a village out here. All these are hikers. I've seen about 5 dogs. Now this is just from my vantage point.
I appreciate it.
They're everywhere.
I have one. I bought mine though.
How you doing? I'm good. I'm good. You're fine. You're fine.
We're just out for 4 days.
You guys up there with Rangers?
Florida.
Oh, no, I'm just using some gear that I have.
Oh, okay.
It's a good. This is where the Rangers
Yeah, they close by, I believe.
Yeah.
You going all the way to Maine?
That's the plan. All right. Yeah, everybody's deep. Like I said, it's a village out here. Currently at Hawk Mountain. I'm gonna do 8 miles north to Gooch Gap Shelter. Yeah. All right. We're in the mountains now. I'm walking ridgeline, and all around me is just mountains, I guess. I don't know if you can appreciate it, but there'll be other vistas I'll show to you. It's pretty cool. And this is the trail. Like a roller coaster. I particularly like the parts of the trail when it's like a roller coaster. You don't really know what's going around the next bend. And imagine when all this is green. It's like walking through a tunnel of green, and the only thing you see is the trail that's opening up every second as you go. Right? See, this is nice. By the way, I passed somebody traveling south, and he told me that there is more trail magic at Gooch Gap. So naturally, I'm gonna go in and get my fill, and I'll give you a shot of that. If what he said is true, that's what, 2 trail magics, right? That's 2 times for trail magic in 2 days, 1 for 1. There's a lot of people on the trail, and what happens is, for example, the people doing the trail magic is a hiker's family. She turned 26 on the trail today, so they're coming out here to break bread with everybody else. And that's why the more the merrier. There's always blessings going around from somebody, and if you're caught in the middle, guess what? You know, so everything's beautiful. All right, I'll see you at Trail Magic out here. Behold, Gooch Gap Shelter. The Trail Magic, unfortunately, is just past this shelter, and since I'm staying here for the night, Gooch Gap is maybe, I don't know, maybe a mile or so. What I'm gonna do is set my pack up, and then I'm gonna run down and get me some, I'm gonna run down and get us something to eat. Here's the deal though, because this shelter is so far in the woods, I will leave my pack. I'm not concerned about it. I know I'm coming right back. Where they're gonna go, right? But this is a cardinal no-no. You never leave your pack. That's like leaving your weapon, you know? And it does seem like superficial to compromise all this just for some food, but I'm taking an educated guess. Hopefully it don't come back to burn me. I'll just eat and run. All right, out here on the thing. Okay, so I've arrived. It's a different location, but still, you're Miss Janet's daughter, right? That's Miss Janet's daughter. Miss Janet is a legend on the trail. This isn't the same thing that I was expecting, but they're still hooking me up, and I think I'll eat a little bit. Cool. All right, as you can see, I got my issue. Notice that hot dog sitting on a muddy boot. After a while, you just don't care anymore. I mean, it's just a trail. But at any rate, I stuff my pockets. I'm gonna eat up the road and head on back. And they told me that if there's anybody that don't mind hiking 2 miles back to get some food, they can have at it. And at least now they have a guard that can watch their stuff. But I'm good. Now, I'm gonna try to get a fire tonight. There's no excuse. Look at this. I'll show you the fire when I'm done out here.
I can't help it, I'm an Aries. Shit, it's just my nature. I have a mind like a scientist, methodical, precise. I'm loyal when I wanna be, yet cold as ice. Passionately gifted in any field I choose. Walk away with lessons learned even when I lose. In the group I take the lead, if challenged you're doomed. While others lick their scars and bleed, I battle through my wounds. Selfless even in sacrifice, I'll die for my cause. With the wrath fierce as thunder's might, I'll kill without pause. When you see me coming, don't be alarmed, don't fear me. I'll walk in the faith, the Lord can hear me. Second to none, bowing only to one, with the judgment as impartial as a bullet's gun. Who am I? I'm on top of the cone, like cherries, the alpha dog. Yo, I'm an Aries. Yeah. I can't help it, I'm an Aries. The ladies often ask me why I fuck so much. It's like a nigga just love to touch. I'm like animal, but don't get me wrong, but call me rooster, cause I'm feeling cock strong with it. Yeah, I can't help it, I'm an Aries. It's my nature. If I got love for you, you never want for a thing. Hold you close to my heart, like treasures unseen. But if you cross me, there's nothing more to be said. Chew you up like piranha, leave you grateful dead. Still mad at you. Yeah, what? I can't help it, I'm an Aries. It's my nature. It's not that I don't forgive, I just can't forget. Locked in my mind like an unpaid debt. Kind of upset but merciful, calculating every move. Like the mark of Cain, I'm watching you. I take what I want, cause that's just what I do. I try to be fair, but I follow no rules. If it ain't right, I'm changing it. Take the blame for it. You don't like it, so what? I ain't ashamed of it. Yeah, what? I can't help it, I'm an Aries. It's my nature. More enemies than friends, but I land on my feet. More victories than losses, never knowing defeat. Avoiding the crowds, never walking entourage. Watching my back, never trusting my bodyguards. I don't have a trusting nature, and if you ain't down, I hate you. Shit, you might get maced, don't come smiling in my face. If I ain't never seen you, respect my space. I'm an Aries, sitting on top of the world. Don't need no help from a man, don't need no love from a girl. I stand alone with the finger of God just behind me. Angels on standby, waiting just to guide me. Power to rise a nation with a voice. For better or for worse, it's my choice. And my command, stand by, here's the plan. We gon' raise them up or destroy this land. I can't help it, I'm an Aries. Listen, my power's my mind, my gift's divine. With the element of fire, I consume. Sitting in the #1 spot of the zodiac, regulating all other signs is where you find me at. Emperor, king, all that's best. I hold the crown, never setting it down above all the rest. Not to brag, that's well and good, but I don't get along with others not as well as I should. Misunderstood, disliked, often hated, plotted against, but can't be faded. Cause there's a million motherfuckers standing just like me, filled with fire, itching to lead. From artisans to politicians, shores to the dirt, Aries is home. We rule the earth. It's our nature to entwine, rule and bind. Listen to us, and you'll do just fine. Yeah, I can't help it, I'm an Aries. I can't help it, I'm an Aries.